Hello and welcome to Carmen Miller's Talk of the Town, Fort Mill, TKK. I'm your host, Patti Mercer, and with me is
Carmen Miller. We hope you enjoy this segment of Talk of the Town.
Hi, so we're here with Marissa Stauffer, and you have a very unique story to share on a home and I guess a relocation to our area and reasons why the buyer chose this area. But before we go into that, tell me a little bit about you.
I am a buyer specialist with the Miller Realty Group of Keller Williams in Fort Mill.
So tell me about this couple that moved from New Hampshire and now call Fort Mill home.
Yes, it was a heartwarming story from the beginning. Corey reached out to me via Facebook. She had seen that I'd helped other moms on the Fort Mill Moms Facebook group, so she messaged me and said, "Hey, I've seen your name and I was wondering if you could help us find a home." And of course I was delighted and honored, and it was, I believe, the very next day that we were out here on 5th Baxter looking at this house.
So Corey and Brad MacDonald, welcome to South Carolina.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now the story of how this home became yours is very unique. It was like it was meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, we loved Baxter a lot. It was something we talked about maybe down the road getting into, but we weren't really looking for a house. We knew where we wanted to be, but there were some steps to get there and some planning that had to be done. And then one day my favorite house was just on the market, so we kind of jumped on it.
And they have a family.
They do. They have twins and then a daughter who's just a year older than the twins.
Now, what's your name? Anne. And your name?
William.
William. And your name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Now, and Myra, of course. You work with a lot of families. You sell a lot of homes, but this was very special to you. What set it apart?
So it was from the very beginning, it was kind of, it was maybe not the perfect time in their life, but it really struck me that they had envisioned, I think, this happening.
Yes.
And they noticed the house before it even became available. It's a house that they drove past many times, and they're like, that's our ideal home.
Oh,
that's
my
where we
goodness.
want to be.
We weren't even just looking. Like we were.
Yeah, it was just like
we were content in where we were. We were settling for a little while, and it wasn't the ideal situation. We were actually renting an apartment, and we were on the 3rd floor, and we have 3 kids and a dog.
Now, you both are in the military.
Yes, and that was one obstacle that was against us because we had to close because I was leaving for training.
Dad, I guess you were in charge in the initial stages,
Yeah, that
Brad.
happens occasionally. Sometimes she goes away, sometimes I go away, so
Yeah.
who's ever away kind of falls on the other one to take care of the kids, and sometimes that can be quite the struggle, but we do what we have to get by.
Isn't that the truth? That's well said. How many people were involved in making this transaction turn into a key to the front door?
Pretty much everybody who was involved with the transaction was a key player. So we had what I feel this year was my most cooperative co-op agent that I was
Okay.
working with. So the list agent in this, Debbie Sue Taylor, and her sellers, as far as what they allowed my buyers to come to the table with and what they allowed us to work with in achieving this goal was not something that happened every day.
And there were other people interested in the property. What advice did you give your buyers in terms of standing out from the competition and really making it personal?
So I said, let's write a love letter. And I actually took a picture of them on the front steps.
When she suggested that she take a picture of us on the porch and that I write a letter, I thought she was kidding. It took me a second to realize, like, oh, she wants me to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in really writing that letter allowed me to take a step back and realize how much this house meant to us too, because I was kind of just acting on instinct at that time. Like, I love this house. Let's buy it. Let's do it. I kind of tend do things without thinking them through. So writing that letter really allowed me to like emotionally realize why we're doing this and why it was so important for our family to get into a neighborhood that my kids could be kids again.
Sometimes as agents, we're matchmakers. It's what we do, especially on the buying side. We make that connection for people, and we just send them off into their happily ever after in their new home.
Now, when you came to Fort Mill, South Carolina, and especially Baxter, which is very family focused, and what did you notice on the front porch of a lot of homes in this neighborhood?
One of our favorite thing is, well, first of all, almost every house has a farmer's porch, which you don't see so much anymore, but all of those porches had American flags flying from them. And there were little kids running around. There was families transporting each other down the street in golf carts. It was a really family-oriented feel, and it was a very relaxed feel that spoke to what we wanted for our family.
Definitely one of the things we liked about Baxter is the convenience of it. There's so many things close by. You can walk to everywhere that you need to get, and also just a sense of community here.
Have you been surprised by anything in the neighborhood or in the Carolinas that you didn't expect?
I feel like we kind of joke a lot, and we're like, where are we? I think I say that all the time. Like, how is this our life? How is this real life? How does everybody in this neighborhood drive around with a golf cart? Like, we haven't bought one yet. That's on our list.
It's a quality of life, right?
Yeah. It's like living in a resort area.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
We feel like we're always on vacation. We're always relaxed. My children have met so many friends down here, and it's just the fact that the school is so close by. All of the friends that they're making in their classes are the same friends that are in their Williams Boy Scouts, and all the friends that they are meeting on the playground, or if we walk over to the yogurt place or something, they're seeing the same kids, and they're really strengthening those friendships.
What advice would you give? What would you share about Marissa in terms of someone looking for that coach to help them through the process, a real estate agent to help them through the process of buying their dream home?
I would say to trust in Marissa. She knows what she's doing. She's going to work hard for you, and she'll give you any update that she can, but you just need to know that she's trying as hard as she can, and she's going to make it happen.
Well, I would definitely recommend Marissa. I think she did a great job. She worked hard for us and made the deal happen. So.
But I've also never had somebody so emotionally invested in trying to get our dream for us. It honestly felt like she wanted this house for us as bad as we wanted it for us.
And the first time you walk in the front door and it's just you guys, this is home. What did your kids say?
They basically screamed and ran around the entire house.
And haven't stopped since.
We love our new house.
Well, that's it for this edition of Carmen Miller's Talk of the Town Fort Mill TKK.
To see more beautiful homes, join us at homesfortmill.com.
Until next time, this is Patti Mercer and
Carmen Miller.
bye-bye.